Kaiwa karamba kunamata
amani chifananidzo.
Moroto kaiwa karamba kunamata
amani chifananidzo.
Septemo
notaura kuti usazowende umwe mwari. Septemo notaura kuti usazowende umwe mwari. Septemo notaura kuti usazowende umwe mwari. O Israeli tapalara, tatengezwa namani. O Israeli tapalara, tatengezwa namani. O Israeli tapalara, tatengezwa namani. Murutokaya karamba kunamata amani chifananidzo. Murutokaya karamba kunamata amani chifananidzo. Murutokaya karamba kunamata amani chifananidzo.
Welcome to Hebrew Ethics, Chemetical Life, where we deal with the issues and matters of life. And today we want to deal with the topic, is Ma'ati the law? Is the law Ma'ati? That's what we want to deal with. So we want to look at the religions that have affected black people. Religions that have led black people into slavery, mental slavery and physical slavery for the past 600 years. These are the two big blocks that have blocked us from accessing our spiritual power and becoming a respected people on the earth. Christianity and Islam. When we look at Christianity and our eyeglass zeroes on the law, we find that they don't follow. They are under grace. And their fundamental thesis is influenced by that ancient enemy of righteousness, which is antinomianism. The word antinomia comes from the combination of two Greek words, anti, which means against, and noma, which means the law or law. So this creed of antinomianism can easily be stated by saying that the followers of this religion would go on to say, we are saved by faith alone. Works have no place in salvation. Conduct is works and is therefore of no importance. They would go on to say that what we do cannot matter as long as we believe it rightly. The divorce between creed and conduct is absolute and final. And then when it comes to the question of sin, they say that sin was settled by the cross. And therefore they say conduct is outside this circle of faith and it cannot come between what they believe and also what they want to live for. Such is the teaching of antinomianism. And so it has fully permeated itself in the fundamental echelons and doctrines of modern Christianity. All these prophets that we see on national television here in Zimbabwe and all over the world, the ministers that have all their Pentecostal movements, they all follow this doctrine of grace. Antinomianism is the doctrine of grace that is carried by an uncorrected logic to the point of absurdity. Its teaching takes justification by faith and it twists it to accept the license to sin, because they then go on to believe that the blood of Jesus cleanses them from all sin. And when it comes to the law, they see the law as a yoke. And this belief of lawlessness or teaching of lawlessness is promoted by Pauline theology, based on what Paul taught and wrote in his works and in his books. For instance, in Galatians 2 verse 4 and in Colossians 2 verse 16, where he derides and writes to push out the law from affecting or impacting the behavior and characteristics of any Christians or of anyone who follows the doctrines of the New Testament, even though they might base it on the Old Testament. But Pauline theology is in contradiction with James, the letter of James, where James says, Faith without works is dead. It also contradicts even the teachings that are found in the New Testament, in Matthew, where the word iniquity or lawlessness is used as a label for those that shall not enter the kingdom. If you read Matthew 7:23, the word antinomia is the same word that has been replaced by lawlessness, which could rightly be put there instead. And thus it could be read starting in verse 21 that not everyone that says to me, Lord, 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 shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he who doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many of you will say to me in that day, Lord, 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 did we not prophesy in your name? And in your name cast out devils, and in your name did many mighty works? And then will I prophesy unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you that work lawlessness or antinomianism. These are all these Nigerian pastors we see performing works. These are all like the Zimbabwean so-called prophets doing works. They have nothing to do with the law. They don't teach anything to do with the law. They think the law was crucified on the cross. And then when we look at various characteristics of this solidified belief system, we realize that they are just working on a doctrine that pushes people away from a certain critical position. Now, we also want to look a little bit on Islam. And the men would think that Islam has the law, or Islam follows the law. The Koran sets down basic standards of human conduct as given in those times, but it does not provide detailed laws or codes or moral codes. There are only a few verses that deal with the legal matters. Muhammad was the sole judge, prosecutor, and jailer, and he remains so via the hadith. When you think of Sharia law, you might think that that's the original law, but the Sharia law emerged out as part of a post-Muhammad legal code because of these wars that conquered Asian. They then tried to incorporate these laws and today pretend as if they are the bastion of a law. And when you listen and hear them speak, you think these are the true bearers of the original teachings and doctrines. But when you look at the Quran itself and the practices of Muslims, there is a vast chasm of differences. For instance, Muslims circumcise, but the Quran doesn't teach about circumcision. It says man was created perfect, so there is no need for men to be circumcised. For instance, if you look at the issue of was a Pharaoh drowned or saved, you find that in Surah 10:92 it says Pharaoh was saved. But if you read these three surahs, Surah 28:40, it says he was drowned. Surah 17:103, it says he was drowned. Surah 43:55, it says he was drowned. So there's a direct and clear contradiction here. The main reason why these book religions are so contradictory, it is because of their battle against a certain system. The reason why the antinomianism doctrine dominates Christianity is because there is a purposeful, deceitful move to alienate and put a distinct line that cannot be easily crossed mentally as well as practically by black people to reclaim and live the law that is eternal, the law that created a society which had no jails, no crime, no robbers, no wars over thousands and thousands of years. And that law is the law of Mahat. And this law of Mahat predates Moses, predates Muhammad, predates anything that you can think of by over 10,355 years. This law was written and etched in stone. It's eternal. It's still there. This is the law of Mahat. When you read and understand the law of Mahati, you'll be shocked. You think that this is ridiculous. But when you know about the 10 commandments, when you know about the so-called 613 laws purported by the Catharian to be the law, you know that they copied it from ancient Egypt. Once you understand that, you will know that the laws of Mahati supersedes by light years all these laws, and you will know why antinomianism is the doctrine that is promoted and propagated today in Christianity, and that Islam dilly-dallies and doesn't have a foundational law which they can say they base it on. So the 42 laws of Mahati, which I'm going to read today, are the basis and the foundation of proper and just society. And when you think about, if we decide to follow the laws of Mahati, then paradise and utopia, which is the name for Ethiopia, which means it was a nation way of life of peace and harmony, with no crime, no criminals, no fear, is possible. So I'll read these laws in conclusion. They say they are in the first person, and they go like this: I will do no wrong. I will not steal. I will not act with violence. I will not kill. I will not be unjust. I will not cause pain. I will not waste food. I will not lie. I will not desecrate holy places. I will not speak evil. I will not abuse my sexuality. I will not cause the shedding of tears. I will not sow seeds of regret. I will not be an aggressor. I will not act guilty. I will not lay waste the plowed land. I will not be a false witness. I will not speak against any person. I will not be wrathful. I will not be angry. I will not lay with a man's wife. I will not lay with a woman's husband. I will not pollute myself. I will not cause terror. I will not pollute the earth. I will not speak in anger. I will not turn from words of truth. I will not utter cases. I will not initiate a quarrel. I will not be excitable or contentious. I will not be prejudiced. I will not be an eavesdropper. I will not speak overmuch. I will not act against my ancestors. I will not waste water. I will not do evil. I will not be arrogant. I will not blaspheme the one most high. I will not commit fraud. I will not defraud temple offerings. I will not plunder the dead. I will not mistreat children. I will not mistreat animals. If we subscribe to this code in our personal life and live this code in our personal life, tell me you who is antinomia. Tell me you who is a Koran follower. Tell me you who is lost in atheism, lost in Darwinism. What error would come out of this code? I want to thank you for this. I want to thank you again. Thank you and goodbye.